Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. I just want to start the show off by saying it's nice being able to have my window open and not hear anything. And then it's kind of shitty that I live right by the pool and I hear this. Very cool. I mean, I love little kids and you hear that? It's very cool. But dude, it just becomes very overwhelming very quickly and it's a bummer. I like having the window open. It's a little breeze in here, some fresh air, whatever. But dude, goddamn, not being a hater, it's just, it'd be cool if I didn't live so goddamn close to the pool. Anyway, so starting off that way, I'm walking around my house right now. Seems like that's what I do when I have my phone and I'm talking. It's like I just stand up and I start walking. I don't know, it's just kind of autopilot. Anyway, so I've kind of, whatever the word would be, compartmentalized. Is that what it is? Hey Siri. It's not working on my laptop. Let's figure out what the definition of this word is before I start using it. Compartmentalized. Fucking Google, man. Compartmentalize. Divide into sections or categories. Okay, well, that's not what I meant. But what I do mean, or maybe I do. Dude, what a great start to the show, huh? What I'm trying to say is I have, I guess, compartmentalized this whole thing that I'm working on with all the different coaches that I'm working for. Are they my clients because I'm working for them and I'm doing a service for them? Like they're paying me to do a service for them. So I'm the provider of the service, so they're my clients or my customers or my whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So working 2 hours for Mina and then 2 hours for Dawson and then at the moment right now 4 hours for Trey. And then I guess I'm doing shit for Riley. I don't know. I have to message him back. If you heard yesterday's show, I guess I don't know. I've got so much to figure out. But if the word I'm trying to use is compartmentalized, then here we go. If I'm trying to do that, if I'm doing that, I feel much better knowing that if I just work on one singular project at a time and give it to each of them as I go, that seems just like, I don't know how to explain. The stress level for me just floor rockets, doesn't skyrocket, floor rockets, ground rockets, whatever. It's much easier for me to just process. It's like, okay, it now feels like I don't have 2 hours to work on this thing for this coach and 2 hours to work on this thing for this coach. I mean, obviously, yes, because they have specific requests. But if I just take the bulk of the time and build the thing that I need to build that each coach needs and then deliver it to all of them, that way, I think it's a win-win-win for everybody. Because when I make the thing one way, I know how it works for all of them. So that way when I give it to them, it's much easier for me to edit and then clean up and change because I know how it works for everybody. Then from there, I can make specific adjustments or add things or remove things or whatever, depending on what the coach wants, which kind of makes me feel like this customization for this whole big idea that I have is going to be a pain in the ass. I really feel like I'm going to need a team or some shit, like somebody who knows Notion to come in and help me set shit up for these people. But dude, let's make a sale first, So anyway, I feel better about that. I feel way better. And I think I struggle with that because I almost feel like I'm gypping these people off No, I don't feel that way. I feel like they would think that I'm chipping them off because if I'm working 8 total hours, but it's for one project, it's like all these clients of mine paid me to do one thing, but it is for them, you know, but they all like kind of sounds bad, dude, I guess, but it's almost like they all chipped in to participate in this creation of something for them. But it is customizable and can be specific for them upon request. And it's not even, you know, that's what I'm here for, right? So anyway, whole point of me saying that is I have spent probably the last 4 hours. About 4 hours, 5 hours, I don't know. 4 hours building and just trying to absolutely hit every single detail on the head that I can with this shift log tracker. And all it is you click a button, you clock in, it prints your date, time, day of the week, all this stuff, and you click clock out, and then it saves that, but then it sends it to a master log for Mina or for Dawson or for Trey to look over for their employees to make the payroll easier and see who's working how much and when and how, all this stuff. Now, obviously they could just get another system and use that for payroll and stuff. I think Trey does for QuickBooks, but either way, I've been working on that and just making it as perfect as I can. And I don't want to say perfect, but just really making sure that I address every single detail. So that way it minimizes the amount of times that I have to go back and edit it or create or improve something or change something or whatever. Because the last thing I want is to, make something, copy paste it to 12 different coaches, we'll say. And then I realize, oh shit, this is an error. I got to go back and fix this. Now, I think this is honestly inevitable. I think that'll happen regardless of what I do, because there's always going to be a better way to do something. And it's actually what I'm going to talk about real quick. That happened. So I was going through and so I had the shift log ready and I was like, okay, I'm going to make 15 duplications of this. So that way, if they have 15 employees, bam, it's already set up and we're good to go. And right before I started duplicating them, I was like, well, let's go through and make sure that this is perfect. Everything's filled out, everything makes sense. I know what everything is. I could, teach somebody how to use this, no problem. I don't have, and then hide everything that doesn't need to be visible, all this stuff, make all the views and all the graphs and blah, 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 all this stuff. And even saying that out loud, I feel like I should go back and do that. But anyway, so I did that and I actually made so many improvements right before I made the duplications. And even now talking about this, I want to go back and make more, and I'm going to. And in the process of all of this, I realized I don't need to make duplications. I figured out a way to filter it and then lock those filters so that I can give this same exact, we'll call it a system, to every single employee on whoever's team, and they won't be able to see everybody else's hours. They'll only be able to see their own if I can lock the filter. And apparently you can. It's kind of unfortunate because I'm doing it, but because I'm the workspace owner, I override that and I don't see the lock. I can still edit, I can still do that stuff. But for somebody who is just a member, they won't be able to change the filter. And not that I would expect, well, I don't know. This is kind of me speaking from experience. I always try to find loopholes and shit. I always try to find out, okay, if I'm not allowed to do this, there's got to be a way for me to see it or whatever, There's a lot of shit you can do if you just right-click a web page and click inspect, and then grab your little clicker, click the element up the web page, and then hide it. You can do so much. Like when you go to a website and it's like, hey, sign up to access the website. Dude, I just right-click, inspect, right-click, or click on that pop-up that's like, you got to sign up, and I just delete that shit. And then I have access to the web page. Now, do I have to do that every time I go back to the web page? Yes. But that's something that I'm aware of, and I know people can do. And I know some people are smart asses like myself and try to do that just for the sake of clout. Like, oh, I deleted this and I view this and I can see how much hours you worked, Sally, So I'm aware of my own kind, and I want to make it so, we can't do that. A lot of people couldn't give two shits, dude, and they're just there to work their hours and clock out. They couldn't give a fuck. I'm not saying that I'm nosy like that, but I'm not saying that I'm not. So yeah, man, just want to lock it, make it bulletproof, make it sure that everything is secure and safe, and make it so that there's no issues and can't screw it up. I think that's where a lot of the stress comes from, or a lot of the, I don't know, just the difficulty comes from, is I'm trying to make it so you don't do anything except click buttons, kind of. I mean, there's a lot of caveats there, but I'm trying to make it so you just can't screw it up. You can't typo because you click a button, there's nothing to type, or you click the wrong month. You don't have to click a month. It's automatic. You won't forget to add something to the financial log or forget to click a check-in or something like that, because it's all automatic. And I think that's where the difficulty for me is coming from, or stems from, I should say. So anyway, there's that. The other thing, and it just barely happened 5-10 minutes ago, I got a message on Slack from Britzy. She says, hi, happy Monday. I am so sorry last week overall was busier than usual. Can you send me a loom instead of what you have in mind for Notion, please? And sorry for the delay, but here's the 10K active students list. So I can finally get that done. I've just been waiting. Side note, Brian put me in a group chat with a couple other people. He said, hey man, I need you to make me a spreadsheet with these people like you did this. Just very, very simple. And so I reached out to those people and I say, hey, this is Bryson. You put me, I'm from that group chat with Brian. Tell me a little bit more about the spreadsheet you're looking to have created, or the compliance tracker or whatever. And no one's responded. And I'm not trying to play, cat and mouse. Like, if you want help, I'll help you, but you got to fucking reply, And, the other day, Brian was like, hey man, you shouldn't be taking other people, you shouldn't be, going on other people's teams if you can't get our work done first. We're still waiting on this. I said, well, as per Britzy, brother, I'm waiting. And so I don't want him to be like, hey, you didn't even help this client. You didn't help this client. What the hell? It's like, bro, they didn't respond. I'm trying to get information so I can make something. If they're not going to respond, I don't give a fuck, Help me help you. So maybe that's a shitty attitude. I don't know. But it's just, now that I've got some shit going on, I'm good. Whatever I can just prioritize and focus on, I'm going to do that. So now with this thing with Britzy she wants me to send her a loom of what I have in mind for Notion. I'm going to do that. Part of me kind of just doesn't want to, bro, because it's just, there's already so much, especially if I'm including Riley, bro. I'm about to be working 12-hour days, which is not a problem, bro. It truthfully is not. I feel like borderline do that already, but I would just have to be so goddamn strategic with all of this. I would just have to wake up no later than 6, like no later. And that's not a problem. It's just, dude, I just don't like going to bed early. But anyway, so if I woke up at 6, if I worked 6 hours, 6 to 12, that would be fucking awesome for me, because then I could hit the gym around 12:30. I would love that. Get home, do my shit, whatever, and then maybe it is, by the time I eat and kind of just take a midday break, I don't know, it would put me at 3 o'clock. And then 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, that's the second half of the day. I just work that. And then, clock out, so to speak, at 9 o'clock. And then, I don't know, I'd have from 9 to 11. And then from 11 to 6, I would sleep. So 9 to 11 to hang out or whatever, or work on my own stuff. But, dude, I don't know. I just have to keep the frame of mind that I'm getting paid to build the thing that I need to build, and that this free time that I'm fantasizing about is not beneficial because I'm not on payroll during that. I can be on payroll when I'm working for other people, and during that time, whatever they need me to build, I'll build it, and also save that so that it's building onto, we'll call it the structure, the draft, the rough draft, whatever, the portfolio, I don't know. Because when I think about it that way, yeah, it's no problem at all. Like, work 6 hours, take a break, go run, go hit the gym, eat, whatever, and come back 6 more hours. To me, truthfully, sounds great. Sounds like an ideal day. Not every day is going to be like that, though, because Saturdays, absolutely reserved for date night. And then Sundays, at the moment, Lexi spends the night, and then we kind of spend the day together. And I always feel so guilty. She's told me a million times that it's not a worry, it's not a concern, it's fine, it's all good. A million times. I still feel so shitty about it. But I just don't want to just work all day while she's here. But it's like, well, if we live together, then what's, you know. So I don't know. That's just an insecurity I have. I just don't ever... Lexi's the shit, and I don't want to lose her no matter what. I don't feel like me doing this would do that necessarily because she's so reassuring in that regard. But part of me is like, oh no, she's gonna peace out. I don't actually think that though, but I just feel guilty because I'm like, you're here. I'm just sitting here working, not even giving you attention. I don't know. Not that she even requires my attention. She's told me a million times, so she's the greatest. Love her so much. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. I'd probably have to just make Saturday nights, maybe Saturday and Sunday nights are only half days, so instead of 12 hours or 6 hours, I don't know. Because that would, yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know. I don't know. But all that to say, 2 hours Mina, 2 hours Dawson, 4 hours Trey, however much for whatever with Riley, and then the remaining for PT Dom, if they want to do Notion. Oh, that's just such a fucking mammoth, bro. That's just a beast. Hundreds of employees. I think it's 100 or something like that. Well, in the Slack thing, how many people do we have here? Show and sort. I don't know how to see. General. DMs. Yeah, I don't really know. At least 100 though. Anyway, so I'm going to make a video and explain it to Britzy what we can do with Notion, and then I'll go from there. It's going to have to be, I don't know how to explain what we can do with Notion for their business and then make, I don't know, that's a hefty motherfucker, bro. Oh man. So yeah, I'm just going to focus on building this out the rest of the day. I told Trey that I would have the shift log and the renewals, everything done by the end of the day, and I'm going to hold true to that. So if it takes me, another 5 voice cracks in 11 hours, then so be it. So yeah, it's currently 1:20 p.m. So if I don't get this done till, if it takes me another 10 hours, if I don't get this done till 11:20, then so be it. So I don't know. I want to get this done though. It just lingers over your head, And once I can get one thing rolling, I get the next thing rolling. Just compounds and blah blah blah. And anyway, so that is, I don't know if I really want to have, I'll probably come back later if I have anything else I want to shoot. Oh, you know what, I will have more, because today, no I won't, my bad. I don't think I will. I thought I had a Zoom call with Trey today. I do not. But I am scheduled to have a team group call with Mina. I don't know if that's happening or not. But if I do, then it'll be part of it, and I might be presenting some shit. So I don't know. But that's it. I'm done here. If there's more, then there's more. If there's not, then that's the show. Love you guys. Peace.
Yo, what's going on?
Dude, welcome back.
Thanks, man. Good to be back. Definitely.
Yo,
what's up? What's up, Brian?
what up?
What's up, dude?
How you guys been? Good.
Yeah, bro, everything's good.
Cool. iPhone 136. It's probably David because he doesn't know how to fucking change his name. Is it David? I hope it's David.
That's funny if it's not.
Can you imagine? It's like Johnny or Michelle.
Victoria.
There, look at his name. There, he changed it now.
There
Good job. Change that shit back. Before I kick it.
Team? What's up, team?
What's up, bro? How's everyone doing, man? How have things been?
From the back end, they're smooth as shit, and I'm so stoked to get this out. So I don't even think about the front end, but yeah.
I know. I saw it, bro. When you guys see what Bryson cooked up, like from end to end, I know that he's been showing you guys a bunch of stuff. It's going to make our lives so much easier. It's going to be insane.
I'm like giddy about it.
Nice. Yeah, you and I are meeting tomorrow. We'll go through things and kind of finalize too. We have a bunch of things to talk about. I don't know if Isabel or Victoria are going to meet. I just met with them like an hour ago or so. I've been on back-to-back calls for the past 3 hours. I can't see. But I think we're good. So we can go ahead and at least get started for the most part. And if anyone joins, we'll fill them in. I don't want to take too much time. So I'm back in action. I wanted to first express my gratitude to each and every one of you guys for holding down the fort while I was gone. It's actually insane because just a year ago, I took a 2-week vacation for my honeymoon, and I worked less on this last vacation. Well, less is a relative term, but differently than I did on my honeymoon, which was awesome. It was really awesome. And I wanted to say thank you guys. Really grateful for you guys because, in the past, whenever I take time off or go away, just always stressed about getting client messaging down, people waiting for messaging, check-in, stuff like that. But it was really cool to see. So I appreciate you guys. David, change your fucking name because every time I look down, I see shut the fuck up, Mina, I get pissed. So change your name. But yeah, so that's what we have right now, which is good. There's a couple things that we're going to change, and I have a couple projects that I'm working on now, which I think is going to be really awesome. Love you too. So it's going to be super awesome. First things first, we're going to launch a couple affiliations, one of which if you guys follow me on Instagram, there's an influencer that we coach. Her name is Nardine. And actually I just got off the phone with her too. She was one of my phone calls. We're going to do an affiliate program with her, which is sick. She's going to be our first affiliate. And basically, she's going to be given her own link for people to sign up through her, then get on a call with Victoria or Isabel, and then funnel into the program. I think that's going to drive a lot of calls, to say the least. You guys aren't really involved in the sales portion of things, but just to give you a heads up, why you guys haven't seen a lot of clients being onboarded is because I'm being very strategic with who we're actually accepting the program. Because money flow is good, income wise is good. We're not really trying to drive any PIFs or any sales right now. We're doing well on the recurring income, but the one thing is we've noticed in the last couple months that, especially that 1 month that we signed 40 clients, there were a lot of people that joined that shouldn't have been in the program. So we're asking a bunch of pointed questions, and if someone gives us a red flag on the call, we don't need them. It makes everyone's life easier. It makes my life easier, makes the coach's lives easier. So we're not dealing with people who just shouldn't be coached in the first place. Obviously, there's some stragglers that come in that we miss, but at the end of the day, for the most part, that's what we're doing. So that's why onboarding has been pretty, not slow, but definitely not as busy as it's been. So that's the first aspect. Any questions on that?
Yeah, what do you mean they're not the right client? Is it just the type of person you're going after, or is it just not a good person as far as client goes?
Both. So if I truly feel like I can't help someone, I'm not going to take their money. That's how I built my business for a long time. And then I let go of that a little bit, for last, maybe since January, from January to March or April. And then after that, I was nah, because what happens in the community that we're in, Brian and Bryson, is, David knows this, is that word can spread very quickly. So someone can join the program, do fuck all, and not do shit. And then they blame the program. And because of that, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth. And when that happens, all of a sudden, Mina's coaching doesn't work. You make less money in the long run that way, and you grow less, and your business doesn't scale as much, right? What's up, Andrew? What's up, Victoria? So at the end of the day, we're being very strategic on that end. But that's kind of what it is. So I told Victoria this on our call a couple hours ago, that we're launching the affiliate program with Nardine. So there's going to be some clients that come in from her program. It's going to be a similar program to what we do. They're going to be onboarded just the same, everything like that. But it should cause an influx of good quality clients, because Nardine has like a special niche that she talks to on Instagram, and it just so happens that her niche and our niche like have some sort of the middle part of the Venn diagram, whatever that's called, similarities. So that's what we're gonna do there. Cool. All right. Now, second thing, which is going to be cool, and Victoria, actually, I didn't tell you this, but this is going to be super helpful for you to know for your sales calls. We're going to completely fucking revamp the entire nutrition aspect of this program. End to end, 180 degrees. What we're going to do is we're actually going to ask clients what approach they want. So right off the top of my head, there's 3 approaches that we can take with our EverFit and everything that we do, okay? Because we're running into a thing where clients are given a meal plan and they get like super overwhelmed. They start asking like 10,000 questions about adding different foods. And it seems to me like they should have been added to like a macro approach instead, right? From the get-go. So what we're gonna do is actually ask clients up front with a video, with me showing them the 3 different approaches and having them choose. So we're going to make it very obvious to them that it's like, whichever approach you choose, don't worry if it's something that turns out not to be your cup of tea, you can change it. But at the end of the day, we want to serve you to something that you feel like is best for you, because no one knows your lifestyle better than you, you know? So the 3 approaches that we're going to have are, 1, same meal plan that we do right now, which is the meal option system that we have, right? That's our bread and butter. 99% of clients are on that, right? There's some clients that are on the macro approach, which is our second approach, where we give them macros and they just have to hit the macros. And I want to come up with better trainings on that too, which I will. The third approach, which is going to be Brian's big project, is actually going to be the recipes and the meals that we have on EverFit themselves. Because EverFit has this, and I've been paying for this out of pocket every month, and I've never used it. But it actually is really cool, like if you implement it correctly. So just to show you guys what I'm talking about, let me share my screen. So here, EverFit. So here, when you go down to library, is it meal plan templates? I think it is. Yeah. And then you actually have like recipes and ingredients and stuff like that you can do. I tried to do the whole meal option system on this, but it didn't work out. It looked like shit. So we didn't do it. But more or less what happens is you can actually create a meal plan for someone based off what they have. So if I do this as test, right, and let's say just 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever, right? And then I put this here. You can have this, so they have different meals per day. And they can it gives them like a fancy shopping list, whatever, besides the point. But the recipes they have are actually really cool. So like avocado tomato toast, for example, like you can add that as someone's breakfast, and you can give them different options for breakfast. So they can choose between an avocado toast or a baked egg stuffed pepper that you see over here, whatever. So that can be our third approach that you can tell someone, be like, oh, like we actually, like we can give you recipes per meal if you have the time, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then of course they're given this and they can have like a whole nutritional breakdown of what they want per day. And again, you can give options of like breakfast can be this, and then give them a different alternative. I have to figure out how to do that. But there can be different alternatives to different things. Does that make sense to you guys? So this is going to change the onboarding. So this right here, like what I just did, is a no-go because it just made it seem like they're supposed to have both of these for breakfast. But there's a way to do it where it's like an alternative. You can have this or this, but besides the point. And it's cool because it gives them the macros of what they're having every day anyways. Okay? So this can also streamline into making this and the macro approach the same, because you can give them a sample meal plan or just go off your macros. But we'll talk more about that later on. So why I'm showing you this, guys, is because this is going to change the onboarding process a little bit, where like they're going to be shot out a video or something, or maybe even if we can somehow make it into form, and Bryson, you and I can talk about this, if we can somehow incorporate a link for them to watch while filling out the form, if it doesn't fuck with their form, that would be great. Whatever, we can streamline it, where it's me talking through the 3 different approaches and pick your favorite one. That would be sick. And this also impacts Victoria as well, because this is something that you can use on the calls that we have as one of the pillars. We would just change the verbiage a little bit with nutrition pillars and just say, like, we have these different approaches and Mina's going to walk you through each one, and you and him are going to choose which one's better for you. You know what I mean? So like that sounds really cool to hear from the client perspective. So Brian's project, I warned you about this, is Brian is going to become our expert when it comes to the recipes and the meal plans. So Brian, I would love for you to have a dummy account on the app if you don't have it already, but create a dummy account, but if you do, cool. And start assigning yourself, play around with different meal plans, different recipes, like find out more about the ingredients. I want you to figure this out and learn it like the back of your hand. And once you've done that, let me know, and then you and I can meet, and I'd like us to present that to the rest of the team so everyone knows how that looks like and how to make changes to it accordingly. Okay? That's going to be super awesome, because then from there, like, it's going to directly trickle down to David and Johnny, especially when they're making changes to diets, and if someone's on the recipe approach, they'll know how to change things and how to move things around. Cool? Nice. Awesome. I think this is really cool. I don't know another coach to ask the client which approach they want, you know, which is awesome, because then it's just like, whoa, like this guy actually just, it's not his way or the highway, you know, and we'll have an option for them to choose. It's just indifferent. And then from there, we can probably just give them a meal plan. I think that's the easiest way. But it'll also give us the flexibility to change people to different aspects. And the meal plan, the recipe one, actually, I think will cause us less work than the meal plan itself. So you don't have to go to Canva and start editing things. You just change it on Everfit itself. The whole point behind this is to give a value add. If you guys know what a value add is. A value add is basically adding value, but really less work for us. So whenever you make a change, it's like you're making it sound sexy, but it's not, it's technically less work, you know? So for example, if I want someone to go from 2 check-ins to 1 check-in a week, or from 1 check-in to a bi-weekly check-in, you're usually giving them a value add of like, oh, you know, like, I want to zoom out on your progress a little bit more. I want to give us more time in between check-ins to see more results and see more progress. So instead of us doing it X, we're doing it Y. That's how we would do it. So it's the same thing with this as well. Cool? Nice. Any questions?
I mean, I think I love that approach. But like for clients that are always on the go, like, are there going to be options there, like protein shake or like something that's just like grab and go, because not everyone's going to be able to cook a recipe all the time?
Exactly. No, you're 100% right, which is why I think, and why I want you to learn this, is I think what happens when you assign someone a task, when you assign someone a meal plan, it gives them the goal macros. Mm-hmm. So then they're able to make an adjustment according to what they have available to them while they're gone. So if they see, for example, dinner is 500 calories with 40 grams of protein, whatever, and it's visible to them on the phone, then with the training that I'd have for the recipe, right, there from there, they're able to be like, oh, okay, well, I can't make this chicken pot, whatever, but I have Chick-fil-A available to me, so I'm going to find something that matches the macros there. So it gives flexibility that way. And that's why I want to like really like hunker down and learn this first. So then when I film the recording and the training like we do on the onboarding process, it's super crystal clear of like why they would choose this approach, or why they would choose just the macro approach, or why they would choose the meal plan approach. Because some people just want to execute. Like, I have a ton of clients that I've tried to move them to macros from a meal plan, and they said, no, I like the meal plan. I just don't have to think. These are my meals for the day. I don't have to calculate shit. I'm good. All right, it's fine with me. You know what I mean? As long as it works for the person, that's what we want. Any other questions on that? Cool. Hopefully the last, unless something else comes up to my erratic mind, is we want more client results. We're not going to be the fucking best coaching program on the planet without results. Just the end all be all. You want to be the best coaching program on the results? Yep, service is good, and I think our service is fucking A1. No one comes next to us when it comes to service. But we also want results. I want clients to see progress and see exactly what they're looking for. I want them to see their abs. I want them to lose weight. I want them to feel confident in their clothes. I want them to feel energy going up the stairs. I want them to... The most powerful wins that I read are the ones that have nothing to do with their physical aspect of like their face slimming or their belly fat disappearing. The most powerful results to me are the ones where you have a mom say that she's able to carry her kids up a flight of stairs. That's important to me. You know what I mean? That's powerful, and that goes a long way. The only way we can do that is us making applicable changes for that to happen, for that to occur, okay? So for that to happen, we need to make changes. So moving forward, right, and this is something that goes completely against my coaching style before, but we're going to fucking do it. Every 2 to 3 weeks, there has to be a change made to a client. Done. That just has to happen. And I wish Johnny was on this call as well, but I'm sure we'll fill him in. David, if you can do me a favor and fill him in after this, if you want to send him a voice note or something, that'd be great to what we're talking about now. Every 2 to 3 weeks from now on, we make a change for clients. Whether it's 5 minutes extra cardio, whether it's a slight adjustment to their diet, whether it's changing their training just a little bit, or asking Andrew, giving Andrew the alley-oop, just so Andrew can be aware of the changes and be like, yo, Andrew, I think it's time to challenge Brian a little bit more in the gym. And then Andrew, with his incredible training mind, goes ahead and just adds more reps, adds more sets, something like that. That takes 10 seconds to do, but he does it. That is what drives results. And it also causes the client to feel like, okay, this is not vanilla. This is not a coaching program he gives me the program and says, fuck off. And it also causes clients not to fuck off either. Because then that's how they know, hey, if I continue to check in, I continue to communicate, good things happen. That's the back end psychology behind it. Okay? So that's something that we need to implement from now. 7:20 p.m. Monday, June 16th, it's implemented. It's in. Done. And it's going to go really awesome with what Bryson implemented too. Because once we're able to kick off things, and why I waited for this anyways is because of what Bryson was doing, is Bryson has, once everything's in play anyways, Bryson implemented a system where when a change is made, it's actually stored on the client's profile. So what's super great is you're going to be able to see when was the last change for a client. It's 4 weeks ago. Shit, we got to make a change. You know what I mean? Super great. And it also actually affects Victoria too on her sales, because she's able to tell, like, from experience for herself, and obviously from what we're talking about now, yeah, Mina actually tends to make changes every 2 to 3 weeks because he just wants you to continue moving forward. You've plateaued for the last 6 months because you don't know when to make changes. You know, things like that. It's all related, everything. We're going to be the best coaching program on the planet. If not, we already are, in my opinion, but we're going to still be. And the reason and the way we do that is through this. Through just fucking consistent effort, consistent changes. Cool? Any questions? Nice. That was quick. Only 22 minutes. Anything else? Any other topics you guys want to discuss? Cool. Well, other than that, I want to give a huge shout out to our boy, Coach Andrew, 5 days out or 6 days out of his show, which is going to be awesome. He's going to fucking kill it, 100%. And consistent caring. Let's go. Yep. Because he's 6 days out. He's going to absolutely smash it at his show. And then he's going to eat a shit ton of food after, which is good. And then he's going to freaking... David left. I think I pissed off David. He heard about Andrew's show. He's like, fuck Andrew, I'm out. Sorry. I don't have... The fuck? But yeah, so I think we're good. All right? Appreciate you guys, like I said on the beginning of this call. Appreciate you guys. It was really... Shut the fuck up. I'm not talking to you. Like I said at the beginning of this call, I appreciate you guys. I was really happy to be able to fall back on such a great team while I was away. So, appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Appreciate you. It's an awkward ass ending, but dude, that's funny. All right, peace.